This is an introduction to a video that was recorded on November 25th. Today, as I'm recording this introduction, it's December 6th. That's helpful to know if you are following the videos on my channel as they get published in chronological order. This video deals with using a USB Wi-Fi device in order to interrupt the connection to the internet during the setup of Windows 11 in order to use a local user account. And the reason why I wanted to still include this one, even though I've done more videos on this subject that wound up showing my preferred method of using end task or ending task on a particular function. If you're going to use this Internet Interruptus method, then there is an advantage to disconnecting the internet right after clicking the next button. One of my videos, the one that demonstrates the the end task method, that shows the internet disruption method with waiting until the computer gets to the point where it asks you for a Microsoft account. Well, in that version of doing it, it takes much longer to get to the prompt for a user account. The computer actually restarts. This video shows that if you disconnect the internet right after clicking the next button where you're required to connect to the internet, then you'll get to the local user prompt pretty quickly without the computer having to restart. So there's probably some other things in here to include, but so here we go. This is the end of the introduction and starting the recording that I did on November 25th with Stan. Here we've got Stan's new computer. It's boxed up still. This was the same model that we got for Tom. Stan, I gotta tell you, this is not a touch screen.
Oh, okay. That's good. I don't need a touch screen.
Okay. So we're going to do the unboxing, and what Tom was first concerned about was how well this was packed, whether it was packed or not, because of this sliding around, and we wound up finding out or discovering that was just the AC adapter sliding back and forth. The laptop itself is in a good position. We got a little bit of a tear here. We have not opened it yet, and I wanted to try something that I'm kind of really missing. My prior car had the greatest key for cutting through boxes. You could just rip right through them. You didn't have to cut through them so carefully like you would with a blade. So I went through my extra keys, and I found one that's it's got to have a good grip here, and it just cuts through tape on boxes so easily. So I just thought I wanted to try to do it. Yeah, it does. You don't have to go so carefully like you would with a razor blade, because it's not going to cut through the cardboard like I just did. A little bit. So I did not practice that. I didn't know if it was going to work out very well, but I kind of think I'm going to keep this key around for opening packages. A little bit more. And pull the power cord out, AC adapter out, and then the only other thing is the computer. It's over there. Now, so we don't see any damage, and I'm figuring, like, some of you who follow Kerry Holzman's channel, he's been talking a lot about packaging recently, but laptops don't seem to be needing as thick of packaging. One, because the parts inside the computer they don't have all that space to throw their weight around during shipping, and these egg crates just hold it fine. All right, so Now, Scott, I was talking to him about the possibility that he might be interested in Tom's computer, since Scott doesn't care about the touchscreen, but Tom maybe would like to get a touchscreen. So is this model computer sufficient for Scott? One of the things he was concerned about is he wanted a good sturdy computer. So he's going to wind up looking at Tom's in person and see if he likes it before making that decision. So let's get I'm liking this. This is my first time having my hands on this computer. And the back, the lid, when it's opened up, has feet, rubber feet on each side here. So that kind of raises the keyboard a little bit, or gives a little bit of a slant. And when I close the lid, you can see the back of it goes down a little bit. All right. So we're going to set this, configure this computer, and I'm going to try to get it connected to my capture card so that we can see the whole process. And let's see, Stan, if you want to open that up and plug that in back there behind the desk. You got to growl when you're opening that.
It worked.
All right. I've got a couple camera angles, or unusual camera things going on here, so I'm going to introduce that to you. When I'm facing forward and Stan's back there, I've got this alternate scene that kind of makes us look like we're sitting right next to each other. And then we've also got camera 2 pointed over this way while we're working over here. So let's go ahead and plug that in there. And here we have the Wi-Fi. There's a drop-down list here for the Wi-Fi. Ah, good. That gives me a second Wi-Fi device. So if I connect to my Wi-Fi through this USB device, then I should be able to disconnect it to unplug us from Wi-Fi. So I'll click on that one, and then click on my Wi-Fi. And then I'll click connect and put in my Wi-Fi code. And Stan, when you're looking at the screen there at the recording, you can tell where, am I being too obvious about what my code is? Let's see. Oh, that didn't work.
I can't tell.
Okay, so then, now what I want to do is it'll connect to Wi-Fi, and then I should have a clickable next button. I'm not in a hurry now. I don't need to unplug this right away. What I want to do is click the next button, and then I'm in a hurry to disconnect from the internet. So here's next. So this is verifying and connecting to my Wi-Fi. It says connected and secured. And I'm on my Wi-Fi 2 device, so that should mean this one. I don't want to unplug it right now because it's got to stay connected here in order for me to click on the next button. The next button is now blue, so I can click on it. So I'll click on it, and then I'm going to unplug the Wi-Fi. And I don't think it has to be instantly. I want to see the screen go to something else. Checking for updates, maybe that's okay to complete, but I'm going to go ahead and unplug it while it's doing that check. Again, the objective here is to break your computer, so we have to find another.
You're learning how to break it, all right.
Please keep your PC on. I don't recall what screen. Oh, sit back and relax while the magic happens. So it hasn't objected to losing the Wi-Fi connection. Could it have taken those Wi-Fi credentials and utilize them on the built-in Wi-Fi device. I don't know. But I did have a blue light here indicating that it was communicating through this device. I think it was even flickering a little bit. So that meant that Wi-Fi 2 was indeed the USB device, and it didn't do some weird thing where the USB device became the first one in the list and the internal one the second one. That wouldn't make sense, but then it's a computer. Things don't always make sense. Almost there, just finishing up this step. Got a good display on screen of that. All right, license agreement. This is kind of feeling like it might work, except enter your name. Boom. You don't know this process well enough to realize that this is the answer. Some people watching this video realize that's the answer because it's not asking for your Microsoft 365 account.
Oh.
It's asking for a name. Just enter your name. This is going to be a local user account. Now, we can always join the computer to your Microsoft account. Totally irrelevant whether we create first as a local account or Microsoft. So I'm going to say that your name is Stan.
Okay. Oh. That would be good. I would guess that one too.
Next. And then it asks for a password. We're going to do this without a password for now.
That's okay.
And add a password later. So just click Next. And then these privacy settings. Location-based experiences. You're the meandering man. It says so on your shirt. Excuse me. Meandering man, it's 70.
Yeah. Hey, you're right.
And so you travel a lot, so you want location-based experiences, of course. I always leave that on for my own. Find my device. So this would be your device's location data. If you were to lose it, if you were to leave it somewhere, you could go through your Microsoft 365 account on another device and figure out where you left the computer. So that kind of sounds okay for you. Now, I'm not sure I've said that quite right. I haven't really tested the feature, but it's something along those lines. Diagnostic data, I typically change this to set required only. You're going to be connecting to the internet a lot through your hotspot device and through your mobile data. So we want to reduce the amount of data that's going through. And then inking and typing, same reasoning here. And inking and typing diagnostic data to Microsoft to improve the language recognition and suggestion capabilities of Microsoft apps and services. So again, I also haven't looked into the detail behind this, but my deduction is that it's more of a spying thing for certain, that Microsoft is watching what you're doing. But particularly if you do any voice recognition type stuff and then you do corrections, it would be sending that information, so they try to do that better. You're not likely to interact with your computer that way, so we're going to turn that off. Tailored experience. Let Microsoft use your diagnostic data, excluding information about websites you browse, to offer you personalized tips, ads, and recommendations to enhance your Microsoft experience. So there, it watches things going on with your computer and suggests things that you might want to do. I like to turn that off too. Again, I haven't compared on and off. What does it precisely do? Advertising data, I kind of like to have that because it gives me more relevant ads. They're going to give you ads no matter what. So this just gives ads that are more relevant to you. And different people make different choices there, and I don't argue against your choices at all. Support and protection. I never do this because this is for you to be able to communicate with their support. It doesn't stop you from communicating with Dell support, but all my clients that I set up computers for, they call me to help them with whatever they need help with. So I just always skip this. Putting this in, you're going to get some junk mail from them, from Dell. So do you want that? Yes or no? Nope. Okay, so we'll click Next. Support and protection, my information is correct, and then this checkbox, use my information to register McAfee's security subscription. I always remove this check mark. I don't like the McAfee security subscription that comes with this. I like just the built-in Windows Defender for antivirus. So we're saying the information is correct, even though we didn't enter any information. Basically, we're claiming you don't have a name.
Okay.
Getting things ready for you. Now, let's see. You know what? At this point, we can change our camera angles here. I've got that on screen. You know what I'll do is I'll let this get all the way up to the next place where it's stable. Then I'm going to make some adjustments to my screen display for this to do the rest of the setup. And here's another case where I don't think I'm going to speed this up. Let people realize how long this takes. It does take a little while. Now, I still am not connected to Wi-Fi. Here's what I should have done in the first place. Let's see, how do I do this? I'll tell people that they can fast forward until they see us come back on camera. Yeah, you just scrub your play. Oops, there we are. Already there. Well, too late to think of that. All right, so I'm going to pause the video here and make some adjustments. All right, this is a better screen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk Stan through the rest of the setup. And Stan, you can go ahead and turn the laptop towards you. Let's see, and so Stan's going to operate on that, and we're going to use this camera setting here. Now, for those of you who are really sharp, you might think, wait a minute, Stan should be smaller than Doug. We're about the same size here. So I've done a little trick. Stan, you want to reach your hand across the border and demonstrate that? Yeah, so you're kind of zoomed in a little bit on that half of your picture-in-picture. So here's Windows 11. We're set up. We've got the globe down in the bottom right corner. Can you use the mouse on the touchpad to point to the globe in the bottom right corner?
That?
Nope.
That's the power button.
Nope. Down in the notification center by the date and time.
Oh.
Bottom right corner. Yeah, that wireframe globe indicates we're not connected to the internet. When you float your mouse over that, it says not connected. Connections are available. Well, we're ready to connect now. We're okay to connect because we've already established a local user account. So click your left mouse button on there, on that wireframe globe.
Left, huh?
Yeah, when you're on the globe. You got a left mouse button there?
I don't see one.
Oh, really?
Might be just on the pad somewhere.
Oh, yeah, just press down on the... In fact, I think there's about a half-inch, slightly different symbol there. So you just press down anywhere on the left side, or even just a tap. Just a tap on that touchpad should do it. There you go. And then go on up to the top one, Bets 5G. Click on that one. And then click Connect. And then we're going to pause it, and I'm going to tell you the network security key.
289.
Don't say it because we're unpaused now. Do you remember the rest of it?
I think so. That should be it.
All right, click Next. It wasn't fair for me. I didn't tell you that I unpaused it.
No, you didn't.
Okay, verifying and connecting. It's going to have some updates to install. And how are we going to do this? Okay, so I want to represent how long the updates actually take. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture while it's doing its updates. So if you don't want to actually watch through the whole process of it doing that, then you can just drag the playhead forward on the YouTube video until you see us appear on screen again. Now it failed to connect to that, so we'll try that again. Click on that. Let's see which way we do this. Oh, you know what? We're working through the internal Wi-Fi adapter now because I've got this USB one disconnected. So that should automatically be picking that up. There's an airplane mode that we can click on once Windows is launched here, but we weren't able to use that airplane mode during the setup. Go ahead and click Close, Stan. All right, then click on the Betts 5G again. And then click Connect. All right, we're going to pause the video. Okay, so now we typed in the code again, and we used the eyeball on the right-hand side of the field to verify it. Now you have to hold the left mouse button down in order to do that. And this touchpad doesn't actually have a separate physical button. It's all built into the touchpad. That's a little bit weird for doing that. Go ahead and click Next. There's connected. So now we'll go check on Windows updates. You can click anywhere on the blue area to get rid of that menu. Good. And then the new Windows Start button that we're accustomed to with Windows 10 being way over at the left-hand bottom of the screen, it's now centered. The whole taskbar is centered, and we get the Start button at the left side of that centered set of icons. So go ahead and click on the Start button. And then we'll go to Settings, which is in the right-hand side of the second row near the top, that gear icon. And then we're looking for Update, and it's probably hiding under the picture-in-picture. Can you drag that whole window over to the right so that we're not hiding behind the picture-in-picture? To do that, move your mouse up to the title bar. Up at the top, hold down the left mouse button and drag that window to the right. Does that work? There we go. All right, there's Update and Security in the bottom left of that window. Go ahead and click that. And here's some pending downloads. All of these updates say pending download, and then there's a download button. So if we want this process to go ahead and start running, we need to click that. Go ahead and click. So that should start them downloading, and I'm going to turn off our picture-in-picture and we'll let that run. Now the screen just went black. That's because it's installing a display driver. I didn't notice if display driver was at the top of the list, but that's a normal thing that Windows will do when you're first starting up with a fresh install or a fresh computer. So don't let that be alarming. So here I'm turning off the picture-in-picture. Go ahead and scrub forward if you don't want to wait through all this. So if you're one of the people who are actually watching through this update installing, you just saw us go to the troubleshoot screen. We were just tinkering around with how the left click works on this touchpad. You can press down anywhere on the touchpad and get an actual click. So for the people who scrubbed forward, they didn't hear this explanation because I didn't turn the picture-in-picture back on. That was intentional. So here, going back on mute. Okay, we're coming back on. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. Turn on. So the Windows Update screen went away. Without a restart? Well, the screen went black. Did it actually restart?
Couldn't tell.
I don't know. Okay, take us back into the update screen. So clicking on the start button and then settings. Oh, that layout on the top part is different now. There's more things to click on. Settings is in the second row now. It was in the second row before, but now there's a third row. Okay, and then update and security.
Where did that go?
Bottom left. And it's asking, so the top item there says status installing 34%. The second item is pending restart, and there's a restart now button. I don't want to do the restart now button until that top one finishes installing. It looks like it's stuck at 34%, and this does happen during updates where the numbers will be incrementing and then they seem to get stuck at a point for a while, and the amount of time it takes there can be surprisingly long. I've always found that it's the right choice to just wait it out. Maybe leave the room, go do something else, and come back later. So we're going to turn off the picture-in-picture again. I'm not sure why we lost this update screen. Maybe we were fussing around with something else and lost this window. So if you want to scrub forward to the next time we appear on screen, go ahead and do that.
68.
68. Oh, it jumped. Now this could be going on to something else pretty quickly, and it might even trigger a restart before that reaches 100%, or we might have to click on a button to restart. It seems like that is not consistent, but it could be stuck here for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the picture. So here we get microphone back on and picture-in-picture back on. So up towards the top of the screen, it said this estimate 5 minutes all along, and it stuck for quite a long time at 68%, and then it incremented to 69% and stuck there for a long time, and then started going through the 70s and 80s pretty quickly, and then at some point I think it actually jumped to 100. You saw it go to 100. I wasn't watching at that point, but of course people can go back and look at it. Now the time that it took, you can judge by scrubbing back on the video to when we started this and see how long did that actually take. And those percentages counting through are never linear. It goes to a number and sticks for a while, goes to another number, sticks for a while, and it can just be a really long time if you're sitting there watching it, waiting to restart the recording of a video like we were. So restart required, it says, both of those items on screen say pending restart, and then there's a restart now button to click on. And up at the top it says your device will restart outside of active hours. So if you don't actually click to restart it now, it will restart outside of active hours. And down a little bit, about halfway down the screen, can you point to that stand with your mouse where it says change active hours? Lower, don't click once you get there. That one right there, change active hours, and then lower your mouse a little bit more so we can, no, too far, just showing what are the currently active hours. It says currently 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's what it thinks your active hours are. If that's not good for you, you can click on that and change it to something else so that it will restart when you're actually not going to use the computer anymore, as long as you leave it on. Go ahead and click on restart, Stan. We're going to leave our picture-in-picture on through this because we're going to lose the video signal briefly. Go ahead. So we've got updates underway. So here again we may come across percentage numbers that are not linear and they could take longer than expected. So we may turn off the picture-in-picture in a moment here, but if we lose the video signal entirely, I'll turn the picture-in-picture back on because otherwise it messes up with the recording. So now you can go ahead and scrub forward until you find our picture-in-picture back on again. There we go. So next, the bottom center of the screen, we still don't have the taskbar icon showing up. So it's not completed restarting yet. And there they just all popped in right together. So that was another instance you saw where it can take a while in setting up a new computer. Now this is Dell going to talk to us here. Clouds floating across the background. Congratulations on your new Dell. Protect your investment and set up warranty. Bottom right corner has a skip button. We could have clicked on. It's gone now. And now it's wanting to register. The upper right corner has an X, typical for closing a window. So this is just another opportunity to register the computer with Dell. We shouldn't have... I believe if we close this window, it's not going to come back again. If we click that button in the bottom right corner where it says remind me later, then it's going to remind you later. I don't want to be reminded later, so what I typically do here, but again, things may have changed with Windows 11 in Dell, is to click the X in the upper right corner. We could have clicked the skip button on the previous screen, and that would have been fine too. So go ahead and do that X in the upper right corner. If you want to register with Dell, then certainly go ahead and do that. It's not required in order to protect your warranty coverage. So what we need to do now is go see if there's more updates. After having installed those updates, there might be more. So go ahead back into there, Stan. Settings, and then it's probably still going to be the bottom left corner. Oh, now this is a different looking screen. This would be because we've had an update to the Windows 11 operating system, and now this screen has taken us to a different layout. Windows Update is still in the bottom left corner of this screen. Go ahead and click on that, even though the screen's completely laid out differently. To the left.
Bottom left?
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
On the left-hand side, it's
okay.
That's the bottommost item. So go ahead and click on that. Yeah. That'll take us to Windows Update screen. Now, it says you're up to date, but I don't believe that until we actually click on the Check Up for Updates button, and it finds nothing. Go ahead and click on that. Now, even if it finds nothing now, your experience may differ because it depends upon what time of the month it is, how long it's been since the last updates, and here it is. Yes, we do have, looks like another update. So 2021-11 cumulative update preview for .NET Framework, and then under that, cumulative update for Windows 11 is available. We just installed a cumulative update for November 2021, I believe. That would imply to me that there is a revision of that update that maybe fixes some problems that have occurred. Up at the top of the screen, we have restart required. So it did just do something. Oh, I see that. Do you see, Stan, underneath that blue button, it says pending restarting, light gray. The right-hand side, pending restart. So it has installed that cumulative update preview for .NET Framework. Instead of restarting now, let's try that download install that's below the cumulative update. There you go. That one. Yeah, is that clickable?
Yep.
All right. It's strange that sometimes these clickable items don't really look obviously clickable. I do like to get all of the updates that are waiting installed before I start doing the rest of the configuration for the computer. Downloading 1%. So again, this may take a while. I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture and you can scrub forward. I'll point out first though, I can't point to the taskbar at the bottom because I don't have the mouse to do that, but there's a yellow dot in the message area right down below it there, that yellow dot. That might show up as a yellow dot or as a red dot indicating your computer needs to be restarted to install updates. And I have found when you have a yellow dot or a red dot, that can cause crazy, unpredictable symptoms. If your computer's not operating right for some reason, you're thinking, what's going on? You should always check that message area down the bottom right corner. If you see a yellow dot or a red dot, before you use any other methods to try to fix whatever is wrong, go ahead and restart the computer. That may solve the problem. I've seen symptoms on computers that are completely nonsensical is in regards to could it be a restart that's needed. Anything else there? Yeah. Oh, the downloading. Okay, so we're waiting for that to download. I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture. You can scrub forward till you see our picture-in-picture again. And when it gets to the point of restarting, we'll just click the restart without turning our picture on again. Okay, we're back to it here. We took a lunch break since the last time that we've had picture-in-picture, and we came and checked on it a little while, and at one point the screen went to sleep. And you would have, if you were watching through the whole thing, you saw me in there go change the power settings. When I'm setting up a new client for a computer, a new computer for a client, I have a checklist that I go through, and that causes me to change the power settings before I go through the updates. I don't like the screen to turn off during the updates, or even worse, for it to go into standby during the updates. I think the standby will just stop the updates from running until you wake it up again. Not certain on that point. But anyway, if the screen goes blank, like the screen turns off, a person could walk up to the computer while the updates are in progress and actually press the power button, thinking that the computer was off. And that actions would probably shut down the computer, and that can just become a mess. So I guess I'm saying is that I should have adjusted the power settings before we started the updates. Now, you can see how long that updates can take. So you ought to plan for setting up your new computer in a way so that you can leave it alone. Go walk away. Don't stay there watching it. Let's go take a look at how to change the power settings. Now, I have a way of doing it. I click on the Windows button here and I type the word power, but that's not the way most people are going to do it. So let's go try to show the normal person way of doing it. Click on that, and then it's going to be in settings, I would expect, to find a path towards power adjustments. And I just never go through this way. So are we going to find it in reasonable? It might be display. I see at the top of that list. Personalization, it could be in there. Privacy and security, accessibility. Set to never, there's power mode. See where it says power mode, and then off to the right it says balance. We're in a balanced power mode right now. Go ahead and click on that. Anywhere on that line I think will work. You could change to best performance or best power efficiency. So best performance is going to keep things on longer, but really we want to take care of very specific settings. So on the left-hand side, where it says power mode, click on that. And that should take us into more detail, I expect. Will it?
Nope.
Come on. All right. How about the next one up? Screen and sleep. If you click on that. Okay, so here, when plugged in, turn off my screen after never. I think the default that if you were watching the video when I made that change earlier, I think it was set for 10 minutes. For turning the screen off, and for plugged in, put my device to sleep after, it was also set at 10 minutes, and I changed it to never. So those are the two things we want to change before letting it go through all those updates. Close this window with the X in the upper right corner, and let's go see if there's more updates, because we just like doing updates so much.
Just keep doing it till it doesn't do it anymore, huh?
Right.
Where was it? Windows Update, this one?
Down the bottom left, yeah. I can't see what.
Okay, never mind. I got it. Yep, I was in the wrong spot.
Oh, I see. There was another Windows Update in the
Yeah.
upper right. Okay, so then check for updates. This is the time to place your bets, but we know all bets are
Off.
All bets are off. Family joke.
For those of you who don't know, our last name is Betts.
Yeah. Hence the name of my YouTube channel, LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts.
Oh,
You're up to date, it says. And notice, what time does it say?
5:39 p.m.
It's not 5:39 p.m.
My clock on the bottom says 5:39 p.m.
We said we just had lunch.
We did,
Yeah, and this is actually showing.
but we're not on the... Well, we are on the network.
we're on the internet. It
We're on the internet.
hasn't fixed the time yet, and it is November 25th, which some people recognize as Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
It is Thanksgiving Day. We have a small family gathering this evening. So why don't we fix that time, and then I think maybe we'll end this video and call that Windows 11 initialization and updates. And then right away we'll start another video for Windows 11 configuration,
Yeah.
new configuration, something like that. But let's go look at that time. So we are already in settings. Yeah, go ahead and click on the time in the bottom right corner. That's fine. There's many ways to get to this. And that was that a right click or a left click?
That was just a tap. Wasn't either.
Left side or right side of the mouse pad?
It was right
Trackpad?
side.
Right side. So try the left side.
Where's my mouse? Get rid of that. Let's go to left side. How about
That's-
a click? That was a tap, not a
Well,
click.
yeah, but let's try either a left click or a right click when you're on the time. Oh, I see down in the bottom of that pop-up it says Thursday, November 25th,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an up arrow to the right of that.
Okay.
What does that do? We're kind of discovering things about Windows 11 here. That's still not adjustments for the clock. I think adjusting for the clock is right-click on the time in the bottom right corner. It's an actual right click, so you got to press on that guy.
Okay, that's a press.
It still looks like the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
There's a time halfway up, and that looks a little weird. When you're up in that area to expand. Oh, see the word expand? When you floated your mouse over the time, the word expand. Click on the word expand. That looks like it would expand that setting or that section. And no, it's not doing anything, is it?
Right or left.
How about scrolling down in that window? Because I see a scroll bar. If you want to see the time, some apps were registered to start running when you log in. No, that's not what we want. We want time. All right. So you did a right click on the time that time, right? In the
Correct.
bottom right corner, try left click.
Up here,
No, down in the bottom right corner where the time is.
left click.
Yeah, left click. And again. That's giving us the same thing. So left click or right click gives us the same thing there.
How about up on the top, the 458 up on top? This one.
Try that. Open. We've finished installing Office Recovery Tools. Open now. No, don't care about that. Oh, there's 3 dots out to the right of your mouse. Directly to the right, the 3 dots. What is that?
Left
give
or
us?
right?
Yeah, settings, left. That's it. Turn off all notifications. Go to notification settings, focus assist settings. That's still not what we want. But I do like to turn off notifications. So let's go ahead and click on that. Go to notification settings. Down.
Oh!
Oop.
Okay,
Okay.
wrong. How to get back here again?
Yeah.
Whoops, I'm right mouse clicking. I
Okay.
think. Turn off notifications.
No.
Go to
notification settings. We should have more
Left.
choices here. Okay, so now what I like to do is turn off all notifications. I don't know anybody who likes getting these notifications. So you can
So right
turn
here?
off right there. Yeah.
Whoop.
That's probably going to just be a single left click. Yeah. And then scroll down and see if there's anything else down below that we want to change. No, I don't see anything else there. On the left-hand column, I see time and language.
Left.
Yep.
Oop, it moved on me. Oh, I
Right.
still got it.
They're good. Now in the middle section, date and time. This should get us the
Should I
place.
go to the arrow or not?
Either one should work. Current date and time. Set time automatically is yes. Adjust for daylight savings time. Time zone is central time. That's not us.
Mm-mm.
Now it should have automatic. Oh, see the next one below that. Set time zone automatically. Let's turn that on and see if it fixes itself. Figures it out. Oh yeah, the time in the bottom right. Whoops, nope.
Yep, now it is.
Wait a minute.
Now it changed.
Is
It was 5 something. Now it's 3:44.
That's still not right though. It's 1:44
Yeah.
in California.
So the time zone up above is still...
It says Pacific time though, kind of grayed out there.
Uh-huh.
See that? So now it's just that the time is wrong. So it hasn't figured it out. Now
Down below, sync now?
Bingo. Let's try that. Where it says sync now. See if that'll fix. There it is. 144.
Yep.
Okay, so let's close that screen. There you go.
Whoops.
You can, yeah, it keeps slipping on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you go to click. And I think if you, rather than click, if you like point to the start button, the Windows start button, and then do a tap with your finger. Does that work on this trackpad? Yeah, it does. So that should be the same thing as a click. When you pick your finger up, move the mouse where you want it, and then do a tap.
Okay.
Okay, so let's call this a wrap for this part of the setup. We're going to end this video and then start right away on the setup video. And this is still that weird screen setup. You see what happened to my desk right there? And then if I go like this, my finger disappears. Oh no, it gets disjointed. It's down there.
Oh, it sure does.
Okay. So over here, that puts my email address on your screen. If you'd like to request a support session, I'd be happy to walk you through the setup of your own new computer or help with any problems that you might have on your computer. The way you request that type of session is send me an email, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com. Give me a brief idea in the email what you'd like help with, and then we'll put it together. And some of those sessions I like to do live streaming. We have a live audience that's participating in helping with whatever the issue is, and sometimes like to do it in a recorded video like this one is. All right, I hope that's been useful. Catch you later. Goodbye.